I'm a Protestant.
You look beautiful. Okay, okay, okay. Stop. Video quality too is amazing. Like,
have you ever done like a video chat? Oh, that's good. It'd be nice to that's okay.
hey, look here. Hi.
Oh, they're finding all the nuts that he buried. That's so cool. I'm taking a video. Oh, it's hiding it. Oh, wow. They should take it and send it to Louis. See all the squirrels. I'll just leave. That one.
Welcome to New York. Woo! Hello, hello.
Hello, sweetheart. Good morning. How
Good
are
morning. How are you?
you? Doing all right. You're hanging there.
Yep.
You don't let him to eat. How are you doing today?
Good.
Having a good day?
Well, so far so good.
Hey.
Oh,
Nice day.
what's that?
It's gonna be a nice day, you know.
You know what? Sunny is good.
Yeah. Where you guys come from?
Canada. Can I get a picture with the birds?
I know the Eagles. They're on the flag. So 45th, 46th. What's your
Go. Step out, Gloria. Step out again. It's not working. Step out.
The video. It's like 3D. It's like 3D. Maybe we should go in there.
right, here we go. If you look to the left side of the boat, you'll see a monument. Take your cameras and point your camera to the monument. Point your camera to the monument, because in 2 minutes above the monument, you're going to see one of the most famous buildings in all the world. This monument is called the Vessel. The Vessel sits in the center of the newest neighborhood on the island. This neighborhood is called Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards is where the billionaires live. Get ready to take that picture above the Vessel. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
The Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is the most famous building in all the world. It stands a grand 102 stories high. The Vessel sits in the center of the newest neighborhood on the island. Did you get it? This neighborhood is called Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards is where the billionaires live. Hudson Yards is where the millionaires live. Hudson Yards is where I do not live. If you look at the tallest building here, you'll see a deck sticking out. That deck is called The Edge. The Edge is America's highest outdoor glass bottom observation deck. If you come back down to street level where you see the Vessel, on the right side of the Vessel is where you'll find the main entrance to the High Line. The High Line was once an old abandoned elevated railroad track that in recent years has been converted into an incredible park-like walkway. Guess what? Should you find yourselves on the High Line, I promise you, you will find yourselves in the midst of one of the best walks you can take when walking around the island of Manhattan. That's right, I said island. Not only are you looking at the greatest city in the world, not only are you looking at one of the tallest cities in the world, you're also looking at a very small island. The island of Manhattan is only 2.5 miles wide. That would be 14th Street, the widest point. The island is also only 13.5 miles long. That would be Broadway. Broadway goes the entire length of the island. And then there is Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is the border. Fifth Avenue is the border that separates the east side of the island from the west side of the island. We're now on the west side of the island on the Hudson River. Guess what? What? This river is the deepest river in the USA. This river is 205 feet deep. Guess what? What? Guess what? What? Did you guys know that the Titanic was headed here to Chelsea Piers? This is where the Titanic was heading. If the Titanic did not sink in the Atlantic Ocean in 1912, they would have ended their voyage here at Chelsea Piers. If you look on the other side of Chelsea Piers, you'll see a white building that looks like a giant block of ice. That building is called the Iceberg Building. The Iceberg Building is a memorial to the Titanic. I have a question. How long have I been speaking to you guys? 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 8 minutes? Scream out a number. Do that again? Okay, you all said something different, but it really doesn't matter because you've all known me long enough to know, what am I about to say? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. I really want to hear you. That's exactly what I'm about to say. Guess what? If I was only in New York City for a few days, and if I had to choose between Central Park, which is a historical landmark park. We call Central Park because it sits in the center of the island. But if I had to choose between Central Park and this little park right here, guess what? I would definitely choose this park because there's no other park like it in all the world. This park is an interactive, keyword interactive park. Lots to see, touch, and do when on the little island. The little island is a public space, therefore it is absolutely free to go onto the little island. Are you listening? Only 12 of you are listening. Are you listening? This is very important. Are you listening? If you're having your meals, if you're eating at restaurants in the Times Square area, if you're having your meals or eating at restaurants near Rockefeller Center, guess what? You're spending way too much money to eat in our city. The Times Square area, Rockefeller Center area is the most expensive place in all of New York City to buy anything. Listen very carefully. When eating in New York, you must come downtown and go to Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is the place to be when visiting New York City. You name a country, you'll find a restaurant that serves food from that country in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is also the home of jazz, comedy, hip-hop, salsa, merengue, country, western, line dancing. You can even get a little bit of reggaeton when in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is the place to be. Guess who? Guess who? Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart, Taylor Swift, Will Smith, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, George Clooney, Michael J. Fox, Sarah Jessica Parker, Whoopi Goldberg, Bette Midler, Grace Jones, Macaulay Culkin, and many, many others all have homes in Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is also the home of jazz, comedy, hip-hop, salsa. I think I said that already, right? Greenwich Village is the place to be. Another great neighborhood you should all visit now on the left side of the road. This neighborhood is called Soho. Soho stands for South of Houston Street. S-O for South, H-O for Houston gives us Soho. Soho is the home of New York City's art galleries. More art galleries in Soho than any other neighborhood. Soho is also one of those neighborhoods where you should have a meal or two. Guess who? Guess who? I said guess who? The Chinese people. Guess where? Chinatown, now on the left side of the road. Did you guys know that Chinatown is the oldest community in New York City? The African Americans, the Italians, the Irish, the Greeks, the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, the Dominicans, the Hebrews, the Hindus, the Israelis, the Palestinians, the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Japanese, the Koreans, the Cubans, the Yugoslavians, the Sikhs have all relocated their communities many, many times throughout the history of New York. But the Chinese people have always remained in the same exact location since 1711, which makes China. Tourists go to Chinatown every year, and they all go to Canal Street. But if you go to Chinatown, be sure to go to Mott Street, M-O-T-T. Mott Street is the very first, and it's the most authentic street in all of Chinatown. Are you listening?
Yeah.
All of New York where you can buy. Are you listening? Chinatown is the only place in the entire state of New York where you can buy. Somebody say what? A Rolex watch for $25. Go to Chinatown. Guys, you see that white building? It looks like a game. Somebody tell me what game it looks like. That is correct. That building is called the Chica Building. Look at the top two floors of that building wrapped in glass. You guys see that? That's where you'll find the New York City home of Jay-Z and Beyonce. They live in the top two floors of that building, and somewhere in the middle of that building is where you'll find the New York City home of Robert De Niro. That building sits in a neighborhood called Tribeca. Tribeca stands for Triangle Below Canal Street, because the neighborhood is in the shape of a triangle and it sits just below Canal Street. Nine 11.
World Trade Center.
9-11. 9-11, por favor. Thank you. I thank you all for joining me in a moment of silence for the 3,000 innocent people that died right here on the left side of the boat on a day known to the world as 9/11. It was a beautiful morning. I remember it well. The sky was clear, the weather was crisp and perfect. But on that particular morning, we had no idea what was heading this way. When those terrorists took control of those two airplanes, they came above our island and hit the Twin Towers. Within 90 minutes, both those towers came falling down. Every single thing that you see here today on the left side of the boat was 100% covered in white ashes or had severe damage. It was the worst day in the history of our island. It was the worst day in the history of this nation. 3,000 people died that morning. Those 3,000 people looked just like all of us. If you were here, must never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ground Zero. Guess what?
What?
Guess who?
Who?
Guess where?
Where?
Guess when? Guess how? Guess why? Are we having a good time? That's why we're going to continue. Guys, look to the right side of the boat. You'll see a clock, outdoor clock in America. It's called, watch your feet, guys. It's called the Colgate clock. It sits where the Colgate factory once stood. When the Colgate family packed up and moved west, they left the clock behind. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they knew. They knew that millions and millions of tourists would look across the river and see that 100-year-old clock. To the other side of the island, and we'll go back down the East River, then we'll go over to the Statue of Liberty now on the right side of the boat. We should be there.
Mira para allá.
Paris, come upstairs.
Oh, we're gonna pass the Statue of Liberty.
Look to the left side of the boat. You see those helicopters? When all presidents of the United States of America come to New York, they land right here by helicopter. That is the presidential helicopter landing site. Guess what? You too can take a helicopter ride there. A helicopter ride is definitely one of the most exciting things you can do when visiting New York City. place you don't want to miss. Keep your eyes on the right side of the boat. Please don't put the baby on your shoulder, because if you lose balance, we don't want you to drop the baby. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brooklyn, New York. Look up, look up, look up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge was built in 1886. It is the very first bridge to connect Manhattan to Brooklyn. When the Brooklyn Bridge was built, it was the tallest structure in the Western Hemisphere. Today, the Brooklyn Bridge is recognized as one of the world's most iconic bridges. Albert is where you must come to. This neighborhood is called Dumbo, Brooklyn. Rooftop restaurants, public rooftop spaces, sculptures, monuments, murals, statues, loads and loads of great restaurants, speakeasies for those who want to experience some nightlife. Left of the carousel, you'll see a beach. That little tiny beach is called Pebble Beach there in the sun. Go to Dumbo, get a slice of pizza, and park yourself on the wall there in the sun at Pebble Beach. 2.7 million people live in Brooklyn, and this neighborhood behind us has more visitors than any other neighborhood. On the left side of the boat is the Brooklyn Bridge. On the right side of the boat is the three bridges. We call these three bridges what? Guess what? There is a legend, a 125-year-old legend. The legend says, if you kiss or hug the one you love, good for you. Fast eye. Guess what? All you couples that did not kiss under the bridge, guess what? Your marriage is over. That's not true. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break. That represent freedom from bondage. From the bottom of her foot to the very tip of her golden flame, she stands 305 feet and a half inch. She wears a crown on her head. The crown has 7 points. The 7 points represent the 7 continents of the world. Made of copper. There's no paint on her. The weather conditions have turned her into a beautiful green patina color. In her left hand, she holds an iPad that reads July 4th, 1776. We all call her the Statue of Liberty. That is not her name. Some of us call her Lady.
together and you can.